and then I'll share a spiritual thought really fast after.
Okay. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful that we could gather as a group today, and we're grateful that we can learn and grow together and learn throughout this class about these different cases. Help us that we can understand the important aspects of the case that we need to discuss tonight, and help us in all of our other studies that we can do well. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, I'm going to find a quote really fast on my phone. Oh, okay. So something cool I read from someone, I don't remember, some maybe my bishop said this, like another bishop I had a while ago. He said, if we're going to be in holy places, we have to be holy there. And I think that's pretty cool because sometimes we go to church and we just the same routine and we just end up bored. I've been through that lots of times. And then, but if we're the holy there the whole time, we'll get more out of it than we usually should, than we should. We feel the spirit more. And then also in the temple too, another holy place. That if we go to the temple, I go to the temple a lot because I'm an ordinance worker. So sometimes it gets like a routine too, like when I go. But like we just have to pay more attention to everything, then we can feel the spirit more. And I say it's in Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. That's awesome.
All right, dive on in.
Here we go. Okay, let's vote. Should he sell or should he stick with it?
Stick with it. 100%.
Yeah, I said not accept the offer.
Me too. This is gonna be easy then. Here we go.
I feel like some of these cases are like, I don't know, and then there's ones like this where I'm just like, that's not really even a question to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. This is where it would be good to have someone who opposed, I guess.
Yeah. I felt bad for that's a really good offer for him personally and like his family, but he really would be like dogging all of his pals that have helped him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that later, I think. It talks about like the pros and cons.
Cool.
Sorry. Jumping ahead of ourselves.
No, it's okay.
So number 4, sorry. Start your discussion with those who say Doug should accept the offer. If no one votes for the option, come up with reasons why he should take the offer, even if nobody thinks it's a good idea.
Well, weren't you saying like it's so good for his family if he takes the offer because it's like $2 million in cash?
Yeah. And
like still 2 million shares of the company. So, I mean, it's a good offer because it's a good amount of money. Because anyone who wouldn't want $2 million?
Yeah.
You have to be crazy not to say no.
Yeah, and he talked about how that would be like such a better situation for his family at the moment. But coming from the other point of view, you have to think about like the benefits it would give you now versus the benefits you could have in the future.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, allow those who think he should take the offer to voice their opinions and support your argument. Well, I think financially he's going to make a lot more money. There's a lot more opportunity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, it's gonna be better for him and his family, but like again, I think this company has the potential to be even greater. So if he sells it right now, he's gonna sell it short to what its potential is.
Yeah, and
to where its potential can actually reach.
Sorry, the bottom of page 3, they talk about how he could create a lot of value in a fast-growing internet advertising industry. So the industry is growing. It's not like it's a stagnant industry. So the potential that the company has is greater than it would be if it were just like an industry where they weren't really sure if the company would grow, where he has this brand new idea. People that are seeing it are like wowed by it, and the industry is quickly growing. So the chances that he's going to end up making a lot more money in the future are pretty good, in my opinion. But also he mentioned that he's not a big risk taker and he doesn't like taking risks. So I think that's might be where he's coming in with a little bit of hesitation.
I did think it was good though that he mentioned that like, his wife would support him either way. Like she would obviously rather have the cash. And I think that makes a big difference, especially if you're trying to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, because if she was just like, absolutely not, we need to take this, then it would be a lot harder for him to decide. But knowing that she supports him probably helps him quite a bit.
I agree.
Because the wives are always right. Just kidding.
Yeah, Stephen, you need to learn that before you get married.
I think I already know that.
Okay. I tell my husband my 3 favorite words aren't "I love you." It was "you were right."
Past tense
I thought
word.
I thought it was "I'm sorry."
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Well, you were right and I'm sorry go hand in hand, typically.
Or I was wrong. That one works too.
That's funny.
Okay, number 6. How much money will Doug receive? As a group, realize that it is likely that nobody has a fully correct answer to the question.
Okay, so what'd you get, Andrew? You said you did an Excel sheet for this, right?
Yeah, so I said by Series C, he would raise like over $2 million. But I kind of wonder if that's really low because, I mean, lots of tech companies raise like over 10,000 or 10 million easy.
What did you get, Madison?
I didn't read these questions before, so.
Oh, okay. I got 2.5 million. That's how much you would get.
What'd you get, Andrew?
And
2.1.
Okay.
So yeah, we almost got kind of the same answer.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I still feel like for the industry that's low though. But this was like 2006, huh?
No, but I think what they're asking is how much money will he receive from the 4 million? That's what I was going off of.
Yeah, how much money will he personally receive from the $2 million
from the
cash?
$4 million and the 2 million, yeah, stocks, exactly. So what I did was, because they gave us like all these hints, right? Since half the buyout offer is in cash, you need to treat it as cash sale and give the investors 2 times their investment in cash. So I looked at all the seeds that invested in him, and the total was 535,800. And it says they have to get 2 times that, so I multiplied that by 2, and they got like 1.7 million. That's how much cash the investors would receive. And then it said the next thing, it said something about, since half the buyer offers a preferred stock, you need to treat the portion of the buyout as a stock and give investors 25% of the proceeds from the preferred stock. So 2 million stocks, 25% of that is 500,000. So I just added 500,000 plus the 1.7 million and got 2.5 million. That's how much. Well, no, sorry, I got 1.57 million, and then just 4 million minus that is 2.5.
Oh, right on.
Sorry if that was complicated.
No,
that's what I did.
Yeah, I was thinking like how much would he get from funding, and I said by Series C he would get over 2 million. So I answered a totally different question than you.
It's okay.
But 2 million still sounds great.
I mean, it's so good. Well, then taxes too. Like how much? He's probably gonna end up getting less than that.
Yeah, he'll probably get like half of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will make it complicated.
Okay, I guess we can go on to number 7 then.
Cool. You want me to read it? I'll read it. Sorry, I thought you were going to read it. All right, discuss in the group how much does Shields deserve and why does Washing and Doug want, why does Washing and Doug want to, I can't read. Why does Washing want Doug to reject the turn offer? Won't Washing get a pretty good return from his investment? Why hold out for more? How much does Washing give up if Doug gives Shields 50% of the equity? So if he gives up 50% of the equity, Shields is giving up a ton, is what I got. Like he's giving up like 20 to 30%. Was what I got. But that's the only part of that I did any math for.
So, in my opinion, I think Shield should get like, I just did an estimate like 33%, and like everyone should get like 33%, so it can still be evenly distributed among all three people, like the initial investors, and then initial investors, Shield, and Doug.
The biggest thing that he's giving up if he gives him 50% of the company is his power. So even if he has 51% and Shields has 49%, then Doug basically can call all the shots. So in my opinion, I mean, it depends. Like maybe he does want him to call all the shots, then he should give him a higher percentage than him or an even share. But if not, then he should take at least 1% more.
I think where he's going to be such a big asset to the company, I think there's no way he's going to come for less than that. So it might just be like a sacrifice out of necessity.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's a founder at the company he's already working for, so he's got to have a large chunk of shares there.
Yeah.
Oh, Shields, right? You're talking about Shields, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I switched to Shield. But yeah, Washing is going to have to give up some of his stake just to have Shields come.
But Shields talks or is trying to persuade him not to sell the company for cash, obviously, because he wants to be a part of it. So I feel like Doug can use that to his advantage and say, I won't sell the company for cash, but you're going to have less equity in the company. You know, does that make sense? Like, so he can use that to his advantage where Shields is trying to persuade him not to sell it for cash so he can have investment in the company. Then Doug can use that as like leverage kind of to say, okay, I won't sell it, but you're not going to have as much equity.
Yeah, that actually answers question 8, I think.
Oh, boom.
Perfect.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, question 8 says, can Doug use the turn offer at his advantage if he rejects it? So yeah, totally could use it for his advantage. Because right now he has all the say.
Yeah.
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 So, sorry. In number 7, we didn't talk about why does Washing want Doug to reject the offer? Won't he get a good return? I think he just doesn't want to give it up because he believes in the cause.
And I think since he's like an investor, he knows that he can get more money in the end if he just holds on to a startup company and just selling it right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since this looks like it's going to be really successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Number 9. Click here to read B case as a group. Seriously?
It's like 2 pages. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's like another case.
It's like a totally different one. It has totally different people.
I think it's just the second part of this case. So it's like what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it just has first names instead of just last names. Sorry, that threw me. Okay. We want to just read it silently? How do we want to do this?
I mean, I already read it.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. That was the one thing I prepared.
Well, I guess we can read it silently really fast.
Yeah, speed read. This is going to be weird for the video, but whatever.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. All right. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I'm slow.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. Should Shields hire Barr? Oh my gosh. I like ignored it 3
No.
times. He's still trying.
I don't think they should, in my opinion.
Why? Or should we all vote first?
Yeah, I think we have to vote. Then we have to.
I'm gonna say, I don't know. I don't know
Let's
because
go
okay,
no.
I'm gonna say no for now.
Oh, I was thinking he should,
Oh no.
but I don't have like really solid defense other than like geographically it works.
My biggest concern would be that Cosman and Barr would be the 2 leaders of the Boulder office, and Cosman didn't want Barr to work there. I feel like that could cause problems within the company.
Yeah, and also like the paragraph says like Cosman was troubled by Barr's unfamiliarity with several of the key components of the Yeildex solution, and then he wondered how Barr could manage a software platform that he didn't understand. And then it says like he was even critiquing some of the employees already before he was even hired, like
Yeah.
their skills and stuff.
Red flag.
So I don't think that's not really good. How can you critique a company before you're even there?
Yeah.
Before you even work for them?
I agree. Is she on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next question? We can continue, I guess.
So consider how this decision. So whether or not they hire him, we'll just say they hire him.
Yeah.
We'll say the following: the company culture, leadership team, and investor relationships.
Well, we kind of just did the first 2. Company culture. If he's like a bad fit and he's already complaining about aspects of the company, like that's obviously gonna affect everyone that works there. And then leadership team. If he's butting heads with Cosman, that could be a huge problem. That's okay.
Sorry. So did we decide to not hire him? I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Now we're discussing what would happen if he was hired. What would happen to the company culture, leadership team, and investor relationships.
Yeah, I think it would definitely put Crossman, is that his name? Like that would make him super uncomfortable. But where he does have a lot of experience, it could, broaden the horizons.
That's true.
I don't know. I just feel like if it's questionable from the start, I mean, it could turn out well. Like maybe they'll get along. It's just a bad first impression, but I don't know. Steven, I feel like you're always laughing at me when I'm talking.
No, I'm just looking at something else.
Okay, good. Like, wow, Steven thinks I'm so dumb. Okay. Moving on. Investor relationships. Don't know.
Where he doesn't have a ton of experience with like that specific program, I think that could be detrimental because like if an investor comes to check it out and they're like, oh, what do you think about this? And he's like, I don't know, well, that's not going to look very good.
Yeah,
he does have a strong track record with startup companies, though.
That's true.
That's one of the good things that I saw about him.
That is true.
Yeah.
Maybe he can BS his way through.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a C case. I didn't read the C case.
Oh
Okay,
God.
I can read the C case. It's really short.
Very good.
Cool.
So, and it's interesting too. So 6 months later, after apparently John Barr got hired, he sends this to Tom Shields. Doug continues to be disruptive. His salary is $170,000 per year, and he holds the title of CTO, which I should have. His team wasn't functional and has been replaced. At the board meeting today, do the right things for the company.
Oh yeah, that's
that's
a risky email there, buddy.
HR class would be all over this.
Yeah, for real. I was literally just, what class is this?
So the question says, what does do the right things for the company mean?
Well, obviously he wants Doug fired.
Fire. Which says, should Tom fire Doug?
No.
No.
Does Yeildex need Cosman anymore?
I mean, we don't know enough
Yeah,
information. We don't know if he's been developing more or if he's made the product better. We don't know.
I'm going to say TBD. To be determined.
Well, the next question is, what value does Doug bring to the company now that they have his...
now they're just being catty.
Yeah, they have his formula now.
They have his formula, but also he's the one that developed it. So who's to say that he's not going to develop something to help them even more in the future? But I guess I can decide if he's not contributing to the company currently, then I don't know.
And then how could Doug...
just whatever his name, just being catty.
Yeah.
Who, Barr?
Barr, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then how could Doug have avoided getting into the situation? Well, that's simple.
Most of the company.
Because if you read in the second one, it talked about how he sold like 20% of his common stock.
Yeah, so he didn't.
So that was pretty dumb. He doesn't have that much power anymore. And then they shouldn't have hired. Yeah, and they shouldn't have hired Barr in the first place. That would have avoided all this.
Man, we should run a company, you guys. I think we would do a better job.
As long as it's not like IBC.
1 second.
But yeah, I think, well, Doug has more shares.
Well, no, he sold the 20% though.
Oh, that's right. He sold 20%. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it sticky. Yuck. I hate drama.
Yeah.
Unless it's like TV drama, then it's great.
Yeah,
an email like this is pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
That just shows like bad character. First of all, to put someone else's salary in an email, like how does he even know that? I guess maybe he has something like that, but
and I think he's power hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've obviously communicated before if it's that like blunt and unfamiliar, like familiar. I mean, you would never send that to a guy you didn't talk to very often.
Yeah.
So he's obviously been whining for a while.
Yeah, he wants Doug's head on a plate.
Whoa. Literally. Just kidding.
Okay, last question. You ready?
No.
Do we change our minds about the buyout now?
No, I just think he needs to make better decisions after the buyout. Or after turning down the buyout.
Hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah, I don't think we should change it. I don't think he should accept the offer. But just make, like Madison said, make better decisions.
Yeah. I think a lot of it depends too on if Shields is willing to, if he's like willing to fire him. then he definitely should have taken the buyout. But if he would always like stick to it, like, no, I work with this guy, I trust him, you know, I think Shield's loyalty is super important to what choice he should make.
That's true.
But if Shields hired that guy, even though he knew he didn't want him hired, maybe there wasn't loyalty to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, plot twist.
So I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe he should sell. Like, yeah, he could have made more money, but for one, he's not a dramatic guy. He doesn't like to gamble. And then maybe he didn't have Shield's trust, which makes the whole difference to me. So I'm changing my mind. He should sell.
Gosh. Well, I say no still.
I don't think we have to agree on this one.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah, I still say no.
Okay. All right. We want to summarize or still argue?
Oh, Steven, thanks
No,
for offering.
no, I think Madison should take it this time.
You know, it was my birthday yesterday, so I don't think. Okay, I'll do it.
Her birthday didn't pass.
My birthday's in 364 days, so I don't think that I should have to do it. Okay. Well, do we have to summarize the case or just what we talked about?
I think just what we talked about.
What we talked about.
Okay, we started out saying that Shields, or not, yeah, no, not Shields, Cosman should not sell the company, right? Yeah, should not sell the company for $2 million and $2 million in stock, just because there was so much room for growth and there was a lot of potential within the company. While it would be like a quick fix solution for his family and they could pocket quite a bit of money, we decided that it would be better for them to wait. Then along the road, we found out that he made some bad decisions, sold 20% of his share in the company, and ultimately ended up in a position where the people that he had hired could potentially fire him now that they had his algorithm and basically all that they needed from him in the beginning. So we decided, split ways, 2 versus 1, that he should still not sell the company at the beginning, but he needs to make some better decisions after he hires a CEO. And then hopefully that would lead him to a better position in the future, I guess.
Perfect summary.
Sounds great.
All
All right.